Hi everyone, how's your reading going? I thought I had a parcel to unpack, but I can't quite see it in all this mess. So instead I'll move on to a book, because I'm about books. No idea why I didn't think of that earlier. So today I'm going to be spending a few minutes talking about Night Watch by Terry Pratchett. The reason being, not because I've read it several times, because I have, and several more times is not going to be enough, because a really good book is one that you can read many, many times and still find new things in. So, for instance, another Terry Pratchett book, Going Postal, I read 2.5 times in 2018 or 19, I forget which year it was. We were getting ready for a convention and I was looking for a particular part of the book, and I opened it at random and I started reading and found it hard to skip and ended up going all the way through to the end of the book before I realised what I was meant to be doing, and started again at the very beginning. It's a very good place to start. I think by the time I'd done that another time, so read it from about halfway through to the end, and then from the beginning to the end, and then again from having got to the end twice, I then started back at the beginning again. It did take me a bit of time, but I got there in the end, and I eventually found what I was looking for. And I found new things each time I read it. It was not the same book for me each time, so that I found interesting. And that's the same with almost all of Terry Pratchett's books. There's still one I just can't get into. I've read it twice. I still don't like it. So I didn't read it back to back. I read it in the mid to late 90s, probably late 90s. And then I read it about 2 or 3 years ago. So, it's a long time in between, and no, it still just does not grab me. I just can't see what the fuss is all about with it. But Night Watch is a different matter. So the reason Night Watch is because the Clutch is holding a book discussion. We're starting a book group, essentially, and it's going to be on Discord. And we're starting with Night Watch, and there was a reason. And if I casually, carefully look away from you and click to the Clutch on Discord, here we go. So, just dropped my microphone and it's jolted the camera, the phone, of course. I do that frequently. So, Night Watch is being republished this year. I don't think it's got the same gorgeous cover. And so I suggested we start off with Night Watch. So, if you're on Discord, you'll be able to, and you're on our server, then you'll be able to join in. I'll post the details down below, but it's going to be Tuesday the 4th of February at 2 p.m. So, bearing in mind today's the 29th of January, I better get my skates on and actually read some of it. I have read this several times before, but it's one of those books, just like Going Postal, which gets better each time. I have many books which one reading is enough, and except for Sorcery, all of Terry Pratchett's fantastic. Many times. I will say that many more times because everyone else does. So, Night Watch. Let's start with the front cover. This is a slight rendition of a painting by Rembrandt, which is actually in the Rembrandt Museum, Rembrandt Art Gallery. I've just had a blank. I knew this earlier. I have been there. I have seen this. And now I'm not seeing. It's not in my head. But they also had a 3D version of just a few of the characters from here in one of the squares in this particular town. Don't know. I'll try and Google it and put it down. It's in Europe. So if you're in Europe, it'll be really, really easy for you to pop over and try and see this. I'm not certain if the statues are still there. I heard that they had been moved, which is really sad because they're fantastic. Okay, so this book, Commander Sam Vimes. Okay, so he's commander at this point, and he's done everything that he can do. No, what it says is he's had it all. And he's trying to catch a really bad criminal called, I've forgotten his first name, but his surname is Casa. And the history monks end up sending them both back in time, and they end up in Ankh-Morpork when young Sam, the young Samuel Vimes, who in the future is commander, in the past he's a constable, he's just started, he's totally wet behind the ears, which if you've read any other Terry Pratchett books of the In the Guards Guard series, you will know Sam Vimes is not at all wet behind the ears, but in this particular book he is. And no one recognises the future Sam Vimes in the past. It's very difficult to talk about the past and the future in the same book. So Sam realises this and takes on someone else's name and teaches everyone. Teaches them how to be a police, to be in the watch, to do procedures, to walk around the city as if you are the person in charge. And basically he takes over, which seems to be a skill he's got, and makes everything work. What you see in this book, though, is not just what I've just said. It's a whole lot more. If you've seen or read Les Miserables, you will recognise the blockage. I really should do these videos in the morning when I have more of a brain. Can't see that happening, but you know, that's what I should do. Barricade is the word. So if you've read Les Miserables or seen it on the movies or on stage, you will recognise the barricade that goes up in Night Watch. And you will recognise a whole heap more from Les Miserables. And you will recognise bits from other books, because that is what Terry did. We're meant to talk about authors in the present tense, even if they're no longer with us, but it's so hard to do that. So his writing was such that you could, depending on how much you knew, I've got these words. It depended how much you knew, how much you got out of the book. Which is why I can go and read this book in another 5 years' time, and I will have learned a whole heap more, and I'll see them in the book. Because that's what he did. And I keep going through and saying to myself, but how much did Terry Pratchett really know? And the answer is enormous amounts. Very enormous amounts. So I probably should do my normal. No, I have not just read this at speed. What I'm doing is getting a bookmark. I was just checking to see if I already had one in my book, and I don't. So I have these very old business cards. They're from the 7th Annual Discworld Convention. Australian. 7th Australian Discworld Convention. When we did number 1, it never occurred to us there would be 7. And then there was 7A, which the Lost Con. And then 8 in Adelaide last year. And next year we're going to it was 9 in Adelaide last year. Oh, there's a reason. I'll come back to that. 9 in Adelaide last year. And next year will be number 10. So what I do, you'll see on the back there's nothing there. See? no invisible writing. That will now go into my book, and that will mark my spot. And what it will also do is I'll be able to write notes on the back. I don't use a lot of words. I'll put like the page number, page, whatever, and then 1 to 3 words just to remind myself of what I need to look for on that page when I come back to write something about it. I've been doing that for some years because we have lots of these business cards left over. I have lots of books on my to be read pile, and I think I have more cards than I have books. This will be good. Anyway, I promise I'll put the Discord details down below if you wanted to join us and have fun discussing Night Watch by Terry Pratchett. So, I will see you on the next video. Hopefully by the next video I'll have found my parcel, but you know, there's no guarantee. There's a lot of things there. Just there. If I just wave, and will that make them go away? Works in the movies. It's not working now. Oh well, thank you very much for your attention. Subscribe or not down below as you choose. It's always your choice. And I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.